Welcome to EVE Online. I'm Major Freak. This is about suicide griffins, and I've got two types. I've got a micro warp drive, and I've got an afterburner version. The afterburner has an extra jammer. Now, I want to use the afterburner because I thought originally that the opposing, the op4 was, that's how I pretend they are, the op4 was going to be countering with, say, you know, they were bringing in battleships, so I figured they'd bring a battleship sniper, you know, to blap anything with a micro warp drive at 100 clicks, you know, blap easy. Or they'd use MJDs to get to me, or, you know, afterburner Griffin goes about 1,000. This will probably go at least 2,500 in an orbit of 100 clicks. And I wanted to test how quickly their actual counter is. They will bring an interceptor along to catch griffins and, you know, blow them up. I want to test a few things actually. Which would be better, afterburner or micro warp when facing Ares and, you know, interceptors. I've got an Ares on station. I have a neutral ship I use for warp-ins that I place in amongst the Logi, which I want to jam. The Guardians usually. It's the meta is Drekavax and Cruiser Logi. It's pretty much the low sec meta I've seen and witnessed, and it's a meta. It's easy. These guys are using battleships and Zarzomads and other silly things and they were ramping it up slowly, which was odd. I just thought they'd just swamp us, but I can't get into the mindset. I can guess, but this is beyond the canon of this video. So that's what happened, and that's how I progressed. I got better and better at using... I'll bring up my Evo preview. This is an old version. I've got their newest version. I use it on Singularity. So I've got my stabber here at 85, which is usually about where they keep their cruisers, because lately they've been wary of being too close in. They want to keep at range and lower, get some advantage on my ECM, which is 75 kilometers, and Upwell's jams are quite strong. They're 60 strength against usually about 40-ish, probably just under 38 for a Guardian with the ECCM in the sensor booster script. So they've probably got about, I can usually jam them most of the time, but once past that 75 boundary of the default range for Upwells is 50% of the time I can get a jam. This is pretty good every cycle, right? So that's not bad. And I found that by having auto repeat off, it actually increases the odds of jamming them consistently. Maybe it's a cosmetic thing that I'm not noticing, that I'm too new yet to actually understand the icons when determining whether I've jammed her properly or not. It's neither here nor there for this one, but so I've decided that I can jam Anirs's, and if they bring battleship hulls, nesters again, but I doubt we ganked one. They were pretty easy to bump. And heavy missiles are great. I don't have a painter, and this is where I would usually put the painter. Every of my Upwells has a different painter, a different fitting, and some of them have painters. Some of them have sensor boosting stuff. The real sensor booster is the rig, but I don't like it. I prefer, I switched it out. I switched out my original EW range for sensor booster, which halves the time to target, but Tech 2 signal enhancer in the low slot will give you +2 targets, and you got 2 of them. That means you've gone from 7 to 11 targets, and your options open up dramatically, especially after I got experienced and started feeling comfortable, because I don't launch fighters mostly, because fighters tend to be chewed up and are only useful when you've caught somebody. They've made a mistake, somebody's hasn't warped, and you've got them. And that's when you launch fighters and take them out and point them with the siren. Sirens have points. And also, useful information here, W will make them approach. And if you go into that, as you can see there on approach, you just hold down W and it says orbit, and you just click and you get them. It's great. It's pretty cool. They take a while, and the afterburner on, it's great because sirens won't be scrammed. You can still turn on the afterburner with the and get away. It's mostly important that you don't use this to get there as much as using it to get away, but I've found that you could do this in the situations I go for. If I'm launching into a swarm of enemy op4 that can take out my fighters quickly, I'm not going to launch them. The thought of losing a whole fighter wing and getting a kill mail permanently is not worth the, why should I do that against odds where I'm going to lose them? Don't lose them. If your upperall is going to get destroyed, let it get destroyed. Don't have a lot of fighters in the bay. Load them from your items bay. If you had it from Corp, if your upperall gets destroyed, it gets dropped, but your items bay gets transferred into asset safety. See? So, yeah, I've got surplus here in items, quite a lot actually, just in case you want to take out drones, but that's 200 million right there, and once I put it in, can't take it out. And I expect my upwalls to be eventually destroyed. They're doing something weird right now by not attacking, which is kind of freaking me out. I want more learning opportunities. So yeah, I mean, if you're there, you've got it pointed, it's great. It's got a range of, I think, not bad range actually. What's the range on this? You just keep spamming it till you've got them locked down, basically. Did I miss it? I did, didn't I? Optimum 8. So it's got 8. So basically you're waiting till pretty close. I mean, this is 25 right here. So yeah, and this is 5 right there. So we're talking about yay close. You got to get really close to be able to. And I wonder, what's the default on this? I've never actually tried this. Sorry. I know. W. Huh. I can set. Cool. Yeah, pro tip, if you're trying to control these, you got to switch back to here so you can control it. Otherwise, you're spamming F5 and F6 and it's just not paying attention to you because you've selected the fighters. So yeah, that's a pro tip for you. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, and at this range, I'm outside of the scramble range, so I gotta adjust that to 5 probably. W. There you go. Okay, so when you've pointed something, you're taking damage and you want to get away. Sometimes they've scrammed you, and you're quite far away, so you want to recall them, and and sometimes you can't, but your siren can activate that. But these guys have to get a wee bit away, and you just keep spamming this until it activates, and yeah, you don't need to worry about the red because it has cooldown, and then once it's away, get it away, and it won't take too many losses, and you can dock up. Like so. Yeah, I mean, if I'm throwing my fighters in against overwhelming odds, I won't do it. I'll just wait till I have a chance, use the afterburner and micro warp to get the target that I know I'm not going to die instantly at. And if I'm in trouble and my tactic didn't work, I can just recall them and they won't all die, or a wing won't die, So it's pretty cool. Sorry for the transgression. So here I am. I'm at it's usually a damnation that's near the Lodges. That's the Lodges anchor. It varies. You got to be careful. Anyways, so yeah, they pretty much stay together. Their guys will be about here. Their DPS will be about here, and the Logi will be about here. And you'll have a warp in, and you'll warp to 100. And this is what I do. Up to 100. And then as soon as I land, I have Logi here, cruiser Logi only, and frigate, but you know they bring cruiser Logi, and I order it by name, and each of my guys will, you know, one guy will target the first 3, or the first 4, and the next one will do that, right? And so I'll land, I'll immediately go into orbit right now. Oops. Oh, Jesus. No, not again. Fuck, this always happens. I don't know why. Sorry. Oh, for fuck's... Okay. Yeah, I think that might be because I've got high graphics, and I'm trying to do something fancy. And I've got high graphics on something else, so that could be it. So I'm orbiting. And I've targeted, locked up, target, jammed, or at least try to jam one per, so, you know, F6, X7, F8, you know. I've got a large targeting range. Let's bring this up. Telling you. Yeah, just pretend these are Logi, and I'll go like, you know, F6, F7, you know, and F8. And I've probably got, I've got these, so I've got a large, I've got I think 9 or something targets I can target. Let's see how many maximum my ship gives. 11 targets, so I can have total fun. But I am multi-boxing, so I'm just going to basically land 3 locks and just walk away from it and do another one, or do something else, or deal with my, you know, deal with my upwell, which is the most important thing, and there's so many moving parts. So here we go. We've got in a pattern, and you've got this Aries there, and we're going to compare how quickly I can get to the Aries, I mean to the Griffin with the Aries when the Griffin's on micro warp, and we're going to try again with Afterburner and see if there's any difference in speed or time to get there. And if there's not, I'm definitely going Afterburner, because there's no point in going micro warp drive, because they could just bring a sniper and pop you from 100. Boom, you're dead, you know. So I'd rather go Afterburner, but if there's an advantage in micro warp drive, I will take it. So there we go. And I'll actually look at, I'll track this one. Okay. So Rantannual's that, and off we go. Approach. And how quickly does it take me to get there? Do I go on a curve? Because I'm also, the real reason I want to do this is I want to plan how to counter the Ares with, say, a Sniper Loki, you know? And the range on this is 24. So, okay, taking a bit of time. Okay, there. Okay, so that's definitely done. That's pointed, taken out, and around then I want to warp in my Sniper Loki, and since or you know, it'll be on grid waiting, and you just warp to that and pop the Ares, of course. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, that's done. Let's test. Oops, no, I want to do that. Yeah, I can do that. Nope. Whatever, I'll do that. And I'll go refit. And we'll see if there's any time difference. I'll time it in the video once I rewatch it. See if it's worth it. And the reason I like Afterburner as well is because there's less kerfuffle when you're trying to warp away and get away. You know, there's less yeah, it's quicker, basically. It's hard to disengage when you've got a micro warp drive, especially oversized, but we're not using oversized. But literal beggars can't be choosers, and yeah, wishes were horses, beggars would ride. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's. I'm sure an interceptor pilot will be double clicking instead of just hitting approach and getting a better angle. But it's beyond the ken of this test. I'm not going to get too fancy. We understand the PvP abilities of people more experienced in PvP than we, and double clicking to get direction is the most preferred thing. Let's not kid ourselves. There we go. There we go. Moments in position. Good. Perfecto. Yeah, the bumper I usually keep on tactical. It's helpful for bumping, but it tends to lag things out. It's pretty interesting. So we'll try to cut down the lag here and see if we get the lag yet again, which would be also annoying. So let's go. Yeah, I prefer the afterburner so I can get 4 jams in. That's even more. That's 25% more, or is it 33%? I have no idea. I'm bad at math. All right, here we go. La la la. Landing. And I've got to fix the brackets for this particular, because I want to get some situational awareness. Lack of brackets helps with lag too, by the way. Okay, so there we go. Locked up my 4 targets, started to jam, and the interceptor just goes num num num. Now, I also want to test how quickly I can target an interceptor with this micro warp drive on, so we'll do that too. So here we go, and we'll do this again, see how quickly we can get there, and let's see how long it takes. 53. Yeah, it takes a minute to, so there's no way of me protecting my Griffins. There we go. 45, 41. Yeah, it's pretty much a straight shot. It feels quicker to get there. I'll have to check the video, but yeah, it definitely feels quicker, doesn't it? Oh yeah, right on target, and I still have, look, there is no way of me being able to gank that Ares. Of course, when it's on field, you're definitely going to start targeting it up. So if it tries to be on field, just target it, and it'll be forced to warp away. Also, it takes forever for missiles to get anywhere. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. See, that's not a surprise, actually. I think that might be hole drop. I betcha domain fed them information about where my last one is. It's pretty obvious. I do videos and I open up my clone base, so pretty easy to see that. And on Discord, my map of where my my clone services are is publicly listed. Well, not publicly listed, but on Discord. Could probably log in somebody over there. I think I got an alpha over there. If it's hole drop, I'll pummel them, but it could be domain. Let's check it out. Would it be funny if it was just Blood Raiders? It's just Blood Raiders. That's hilarious. Well, this video is definitely classified. From the beginning, of course. I don't want to let out my tactics. So yeah, I mean, okay, so that is done. Let's get my guy back. There. Yeah, I mean, if I was going to be deciding, I would rather, if they had an Aries and it mattered and it gave me like 6 more seconds, or a few more seconds to figure it out, I would probably use micro warp drive. But still, your ability to get away is hampered, so it'll have to be a comfortable margin of seconds whether I use micro warp or afterburner, because it's pointless. I'm losing a jam and gaining what speed? I'm becoming a huge blossomed signature, and I don't get that much time, but it has to be a significant amount of seconds for me to go, okay, micro warp drive is better in this case. Okay, see what I'm going here? So yeah, I'd prefer afterburner, but if it gives me a clear advantage against an interceptor by a number of seconds that I can, see what's happening, which one is it going after, go to that pilot, get him away, turn off the propulsion module and get away. And if the micro warp drive gives me a significant amount of seconds, like 25%, maybe 50% more, I don't think it was 100% more, don't think it took him twice the time to get to me. But yeah, if it's at least 25%, I'll consider it. If it's less, forget it. Alright. Yeah, that was pretty interesting how long it took, even with the of course it has a bonus, of course, doesn't it, for micro warp. .45, and we'll just hit stop, middle mouse button for that, and we will go bloop, and that gives me 125. Okay, so it's not, it's 5 times, isn't it? Is it 5 times? 45. Okay, so it's 3 times, so it triples the signature radius. Yeah, but yeah, targeting this sucker, yeah, that without, let's see how long it takes me without. I beg your pardon? Did you see that? That was 3 times. That was... It could be lag. We'll get you back. Yeah, I mean, with an afterburner, you can see I can get away even when I've got it active, but I'll bet a micro warp drive just a bit harder to do that, So, advantages. Wow, okay, let's try that again. Was it just a artifact of... Okay. Weird. Now, if you target it and it turns on a micro warp drive, it's not going to increase the speed. It might prematurely target, but I doubt it. It's just like when you start a mining laser and then the command burst goes off and then you get the bonus, it doesn't kick in till the end of the cycle. So there's going to be no hidden increase in targeting time. But yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? That it's the same targeting speed regardless of micro warp drive on or off for an up wall. That's bizarre, isn't it? Kind of funny when you think about it. The immersion breaking stuff is like, that's odd. And you go investigate more, and then you go, oh crap, thanks CCP. Thanks for screwing it up for us. Alright, try that again. Now it's afterburner. Micro warp drive on, and same time, see? Interesting, isn't it? And we'll watch it to see if it's kicks in earlier, but I can guarantee you CCP hasn't really thought about this. It most likely is only applicable for non upwell structure, like normal ships. I believe I'll be able to target this ship way quicker, say using stabber, you know, watch how long it takes. So it's after a micro warp drive on, and 7 seconds ish, right? We'll turn this off, untarget, confirm that it's off, wait a few seconds, try to target, 7 seconds. What the hell is going on? What the? Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother trying to delve into that issue right now. It's a bit annoying, isn't it? Wow. I'm at a loss for words as usual when it comes to CCP. You know? Wow. Yes. CCP never fails to amaze me. Oh, Jesus. Well, hey, if you can't take the joke, you shouldn't have joined. Alright, so I think I've plumbed the depths of that. I'll watch the video, I'll post both fits, and I'll make my decision based on the time. Because I prefer it afterburner, but if it's enough seconds, I'll go with a micro warp drive when it's interceptors. Kind of freaky that it's yeah, kind of freaky that it's about the targeting time for interceptor. Kind of freaky. Anyways, how are you? Is this max graphics? This could be max graphics too. That's the only problem with. I can't adjust it. There we go. Oops. I usually go with memory. Oh, it's minor freak. Yeah, I usually keep this one at max graphics, actually. My bad. I thought it was, I was sureable, but I'm not. I'm minor freak. So, yeah, I keep my CEO character as max graphics and on a different launcher profile, so it doesn't screw with the other clients. I'll just look at my shit so I don't get confused. There we go. That's the one problem with multiple clients. Alright, Griffin. And we'll bring this up. And I believe I was showing the... I'll just make sure. So, I'm gonna close this out. And I love free ports because you get tether, so it's great. And these little ships can't be bumped very well. Always safe to go in a bit, of course. Bring this up. And my implants. My skills are pretty good for this character. I believe I got level 5 for most, except the fall-off skill. EW is a bit weird. Sometimes there are some weirdly named stuff. Long-distance jamming, of course, that's obvious. Electronic warfare is just for capacitor. Frequent modulation is fall-off, I believe. There you go. Propulsion jamming is not. And signal dispersion is the most important because it gives strength of VCN jammers. So this is your most important skill. Okay? And everything else is different stuff. Painting and all that stuff. But yeah, the main important ones for you are electron warfare, long distance jamming, signal dispersion, and frequency modulation as the last you need to get up, because who wants to go maximum fall off, right, on ECM? Why? You know, I might try one day, but to me it's like I would go from 50% chance to jam a minute on a ECCM Guardian with max skills to 25% a minute. And that doesn't make sense to me because you only have 20 minutes during the battle. So why are you effectively making that? Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I'd rather lose a Griffin than only have 25%. And what advantage are you getting for 200 kilometers? Beyond 150, somebody could warp to that person who got to you. So it doesn't make any sense. If you're going to use a Loki to hoodwink, bushwhack the interceptor they're using to catch it, why would you want to be at 200? They could just warp somebody to the interceptor and blap your Loki. So all these thoughts go in this. Yeah, lots of moving parts. So this is it. I'll definitely copy it to clipboard and get you guys the alternate fit. This is my preferred. Mic warp drive is a bit different, but yeah, and take into consideration that it also counts stuff you're not really turning on when you're yelling capacitor. So this is highly stable. I think it's about 3.6 gigajoules per second. So that's great. We don't have to worry about it at all. And the cost is great. It's like 1.4 million. So it's hilarious. Yeah, the amount of effect you have on the battlefield is well worth the cost. I was going to suggest these, but they've become extremely expensive as of late, unfortunately. So they're not cheap anymore, unfortunately. But they do give some range boosts, which is awesome. Yeah, 84 optimal. And I'm comfortable at 100. I don't think that's going to lower my chances by a significant degree. Cool. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope that was useful. And yeah, those are basically my plans in a nutshell for using my hope to use Griffins and get some practice. And I want somebody to. We're expecting all our upwells to get slaughtered. They might be doing something else right now, but currently it's kind of a ghost town around here. We haven't seen them. It's kind of freaky. Our current war targets, and I want more practice, and I want to test these theories. I want to get better at. I want to be able to say, hey, I've done it. It works. This is how you defeat stuff like. Well, we can't defeat these people, but at least it's getting practice against people like Wherefore and Whole Drop and Riot and, well, not Riot. They tend to have way more numbers, but Cheetah Holdings. They're usually the structure bashing department of a high-sec war decking group is usually just one multi-boxing Muppet, and it pressing their mic. They'd never try against an upwell and tactics of this kind. I could, like, Wherefore, just switch out for freaking either Radar for his Typhoons or Magnetometric for his Mega Ts and go aid somebody else, and he's toast. He never brings any logic because he's a multi-boxer. Why would he? you know, he's got a tried and true meta. Why would he change? You know, it's like Napoleon at Waterloo, came in the same old way. We defeated him in the same old way. But I cannot defeat Domain. They're good. That's why Shoot First wanted parts of Shoot First wanted to join them after a while, and I joined them for a week. So yeah, it's great to have somebody who's competent and not superficial to go up against, because they'll just fall back on a well, it's not like they're all brilliant theory crafters and can counter you with specific stuff. If they vary their tactics, it's usually it breaks down and they look really dumb, but that's just they can just fall back on numbers and their meta, which works. You know, that's why it's called a meta. It works, and it's impossible to defeat somebody like that, because an entity like that, because you just don't have the ability to pressure their micro, because they're a bunch of players, and it's kind of hard to do that when they're running 3 accounts at once. If they're running 9 accounts at once, like Where 4 and stuff like that, you can totally pressure their micro, and that's where it's at. Thanks, guys. Probably ran my mouth off way too much, but yeah, I'll take a video of this exact thing, and we'll go from there.